Welcome to Train Sim World 2, an immersive and highly detailed rail simulation featuring authentic routes and trains from around the world.
Alright, hey guys, welcome to another Train Sim World 2 video, and welcome back to Switzerland, the second route for Train Sim World 2 by second-party developer Rivet Games. This is essentially the central Switzerland S-Bahn Luzern to Sursee, featuring the SBB RABe 523 EMU. Features the safety system all across Europe known as ETCS levels 0 and 1. It's going to have 5 scenarios and a 24-hour timetable, and it's about 14 miles long, so it's a bit short. Anyway, something I'd like to clear the air of right away. It's got a manual. Dovetail. Take note. Do manuals. It's got a manual. That's a rare bird. Train Sim World. Anyway, this is the beginning. That lady just disappeared into the ticket machine there. That's strange. This is $24.99, so it's $5 shy of the typical $29.99. It's now available for Train Sim World 2, obviously, and we're just going to see what happens here, so let's get right into it.
You've just been awarded some action points. These are displayed in the top right corner of the screen and count towards your overall experience. It is necessary to be fully observant of the surrounding world. Practice by looking up, down, left and right. Besides operating trains, there are lots of requirements to navigate on foot. Try moving around now.
Alright, well, it looks pretty busy. This looks like it's got the rush hour style passengers. Get out of the way. There we go. The station looks quite nice, too.
This is one of the many interactives to be discovered, but not all
Little
of them
laggy.
will be as easy to find as this one.
Although it's odd, I'm getting pretty steady frames. I'll leave the frame counter up top right corner, just in case. Train Sim World's known for that kind of heavy stutter or lag, which doesn't really have anything to do with the frames themselves. What is this? So, okay. Bike repair simulator. Yeah, the station looks pretty good. Might as well get that map. It was there. I don't typically go out of my way for the collectible stuff, but whatevs.
A lot of time will be spent operating trains, so when ready, sit in the driver's seat.
So, as with a lot of the Train Sim World 2 videos that I try to cover, I'm going to go more in depth into the route and the stock itself once I get this out of the way and I'm familiar and comfortable with things.
You can pause the experience at any point and review previous and current objectives. This is the speed display. The white needle shows current speed. The red marker indicates the maximum permitted speed.
He would be showing the HUD, but I have that turned off. So,
this is the direction display. An arrow will indicate forward, reverse and neutral directions. This is the power display. A number will indicate what position the power control is in. These are brake indicators. They show the state of the various brake systems, allowing independent management of them.
okay.
In the top right are the signal and speed limit displays. These feature an indication of what is approaching.
Yeah.
And a countdown distance
Let's go.
to when they will come into effect.
Okay. Man, this guy's put me to sleep.
This train is ready to go. Push the indicated handle forwards to get moving.
Alright, let's see if it works with RailDriver. I, of course, have RailDriver plugged in here, so let's see if it works. Ermagerd. It certainly does. Alright. RD compatible.
This part of the S-Bahn Zentralschweiz, Luzern Sursee, runs for roughly 25 kilometers and runs commuter services between Luzern and Sursee. This particular train is the SBB RABE 523 electric multiple unit in SBB livery.
Yeah, boy.
It consists of 4 cars.
FLIRT. Flirty.
We've only explored a small area here, so let's take a look at what else there is to enjoy.
Let's do it. Show me the goods. Here we go.
Welcome
Montage.
to S-Bahn Zentralschweiz, Luzern to Sursee. Take control of SBB's RABE 523 EMU in central Switzerland and learn ETCS level 0 and level 1 on this standard gauge route. Take passengers along the shores of beautiful Lake Sempach, past the imposing Chateau Gutsch and Roiszopf Bridge, and park up for the night at Luzern Depot. Along the way, don't forget to place route maps, refill newspaper stands, repair broken bikes, and put up posters. This is S-Bahn Zentralschweiz. Welcome to this introduction for the SBB RABE 523 electric multiple unit in SBB livery. During this introduction we will go through the following procedures: starting and stopping the train, coupling, loading and unloading.
Where is that
Climb
noise
aboard
coming
to
from?
Get started.
Anyway, this is the SBB RABE 523 EMU. Now, those of you that are a little bit more keen and may have Train Sim Classic, this very unit is available for Train Sim Classic. And as a matter of fact, Rivet Games, the developers, basically took that model and kind of updated it a bit for the game itself. Now, it was not a very bad model within Train Sim Classic, and it came with scenarios for the Gotthardbahn, which is a very, very awesome route in itself. But the sounds were never that impeccable, so hopefully these are a little bit better. Anyway, this is a Stadler FLIRT, which means fast, light, intercity, and regional train. Built by Stadler Switzerland, which is essentially an articulated set of 2 to 12 car sets. They've got a max speed of 124, but they typically stick to around 99 mile an hour. They began production in 2004 and build them currently still. They've sold over 2,500 sets of these things, and depending on the set size, it's anywhere between 1,700 and 6,000 horsepower. All right, let's go. I like this depot bit. I do like this depot. Now, Arosa Line, you know, they had a depot as well, but that wasn't like a metro area, so this is a bit different.
A lot of your time will be spent in the driver's seat.
All right, like I said, we'll just get through this stuff, and then we'll take a deeper look. I feel like I could have maybe opened a door closer to the cab. Just personal thoughts there. So this is the 5-minute tutorial on how to drive the thing.
Switch the master key to unlocked to enable this cab for driving.
This looks pretty good in the snow. I like that they chose to do a winter setting here. This looks very nice. All right, so this key here goes from the 0 to the 1. That's how you turn the key on. These are your doors, so we're going to close them. There's left and right.
The main headlights will automatically be turned on when the master key is set to unlocked.
Right.
The throttle lever is split into 2 zones, Bremsen and Fahren.
Combined throttle and brake lever. All right, so set it to -20%. Yep, I went the wrong way, like a ding-dong. My rail driver's kind of having a moment here. Alright, we'll just do it with the keyboard. How about that? Or not. I totally just screwed that up. Alright, here we go. There we go. Train brake to release.
The RABE 523 is fitted with automatic couplers. Reverse into the 523 behind to test it out.
Sweet. I think I will. Alright, set it to reverse. So there's your reverser. Forwards, backwards. I only know this from Train Sim Classic.
The zone controls the multiple units dynamic brake. The Fahren zone controls the power supplied to the traction motors.
Yeah. Alright, set throttle to 10%. I did 11. Fail. Fail! I can't see. Okay, I guess we hit him. All right, back to 20%.
Drive the train into Luzern station using the throttle lever.
There we go. All right, now I'm going to try and use the rail driver here. It's a bit finicky. Alright, there's 20 km/h. Alright, we're going to Luzern, platform 5. So, what I'm noticing right off the bat, the sounds aren't terrible. They don't quite sound like the real thing. Now, I've never been on one, sadly, but I've seen quite a few video of them IRL. Now, I haven't driven one either, and I don't know of any, like, you know, cab ride sound, if there is any. I think there's one or two videos out there of them, but I don't know, I'm conflicted. Like, it kind of sounds good, part of it, but part of it not so much. Now, of course, I'll go deeper into that the faster we go and the more we brake and things like that, but one thing I am noticing right off the bat
use the train dynamic brake to stop the train
is the rail noise. It is incredibly loud in this thing, and then it kind of just cuts away and then comes back full bore. But we'll go more into that later, like I mentioned, and we'll do exterior sound and all that good stuff as well. This is a great looking station. This is a very gorgeous area. This city is one of my favorite routes in the bus simulator OMSI 2. It doesn't quite go the same route, but in OMSI it follows the lake itself, and it is an absolutely gorgeous area. Very cool area. It's a big rail museum out that way as well.
Press the door release button.
The brakes are a little bit loud
to allow passengers to climb aboard.
It's like the mixing isn't quite right or something. Now, that was kind of an issue with those of you that may have the Arosa Line, which was Rivet Games' first foray into Swiss routes for Train Sim World 2. The GE44 is an impeccable machine. It's awesome. It looked fantastic. But the sounds were left wanting. It just sounded like you were pushing a giant shopping cart or shopping trolley. And the physics weren't that great, so hopefully this kind of picks up where that left off. Nice door sounds. Alright, throttle to 0.
This multiple unit is equipped with two safety systems, ETCS Level 1 and Integra Signum. More information.
Yeah. Alright, master key to lock, so back to 0.
A manual can also be obtained that explains the full functionality and features of this multiple unit.
A manual. Rivet. Bless you, just for the manual alone. Alright, next up's the ECTS or ETCS or ESCT. It's one of those. And then we're just going to bust loose out into the city.
Welcome to this introduction on the safety systems featured on the SBB RABE 523 multiple unit.
This looks great.
Climb aboard to get started.
Got a bit of stuttering when you look around. I assume that's a memory issue. Anyway, a tiny little bit about ETCS. It essentially stands for Euro Train Control System. Now, it's sort of like, think of ACSES or ATC or AWS or PZB, things of that nature. It's a safety control system which a lot of Europe has picked up. I think it pretty much covers all of Switzerland, if not a whole giant chunk of it. And most of Europe is following, but it's basically a... I'll try and describe it as bare bones as possible. So level 0 of it means it's ETCS compliant, stock, do not interact with line side equipment. So these little yellow magnet doohickeys you see here. So that would be, you know, if the ETCS was not implemented in a certain area. Level 1 ETCS is installed on line side, which basically are these things here. And it's equipped and on board the train or rolling stock. Anyway, it's data transmission from track to train. So, you know, I'll shut up and let them hopefully describe it a bit better. Oh yeah, there's no door here. Durr. I like the door sounds. Those are nice. Incoming!
Prepare the train for departure.
Alright, we can do this. Alright, 1. Lock them up. Reverser to forwards. This goes to 20. Brake. Then we set the train brake to full release. So this is just your regular air right here. This is dynamic, essentially. Or, I forget the fancy word for it. Alright, so this is the VSOL. This is like LZB, if you will, or like a speed control. That's what VSOL is. So it says set this to 100 km/h or 62 mile an hour. Now, I'm assuming a lot of train sims in the past, you use Y and C, but Y is part of opening the door, so I'm not entirely sure how you're going to do that. So we'll just use this lever for now. You'll see this little purple dot right here in the middle of the screen move to where it's going to be set. So we're going to put it at 100 km/h. Just hold it down. Bam.
Press the ETCS toggle button to initialize the safety mode the train will be driven in.
The hell's this guy doing? Alright, so ETCS button right here, so it's on. We're going to turn it on.
Level STM covers any onboard safety systems other than ETCS on the train. The Integra Signum safety system is also installed on this train. More about how this works can be found in the manual. Turn on ETCS level 0. At ETCS level 0, the driver has to rely on the external signals.
Right, okay.
The ETCS onboard equipment only supervises the line speed of the track.
Can we just marvel in the modeling and texturing of these handles and keys right here? These look fantastic. Especially this master key, these handles, these look great.
Turn on ETCS.
Alright, so that's an alarm. Audible alarm, basically telling you that you turned it on and that you need to confirm it. So,
Acknowledge that ETCS level 1 has been activated by pressing the Enter soft key. The system initializes in staff responsible mode. Once the train has passed a Belize, it will change to full supervision. When passing a signal that is warning us of a speed restriction is coming up, the onboard system will start calculating a brake curve the driver has to follow to ensure safe braking before the enforcing trackside signal. This is the same for speedboard restrictions on the route.
Alright, use the throttle lever to reach 100 km/h. Let's go! So this is a speed control. So now that we have that set at 100 km/h, we could use 5% power or 100% power, but it's going to keep it right at 100. Speed control, just like it sounds. So we're going to max this puppy out. Full power! What was that? Alright, there's 90 km/h.
If the braking curve is not followed closely enough, then the emergency brakes will be applied.
Okay.
At ETCS level 1, the train's speed is constantly monitored, and with the use of track balises, data is sent to the train to prevent exceeding the permitted speed. The data transmission only happens at the points of balises, so we will still be required to watch the trackside signals, as new information may not be immediately available.
Okay. Sounds confusing. So we gotta stop at a red. 4 kilometers. I guess it's a good time as ever to talk a little bit about the region. This line that we're on is essentially a small fraction of the Luzern S-Bahn, which contains in itself 17 separate lines. The Luzern S-Bahn began operations in 2004. That's exactly the same time that these things started getting built. Funny. Basically forming part of the Central Swiss S-Bahn, or Zeshvite. I don't know if I said that right. But anyway, S1, which is what we're on, so this is the S1 line. That goes from Luzern to Sursee. I'm also noticing that the recent weather or skybox update that Dovetail finally implemented into the game is here, alive and well. That looks way better than the old skybox. So that's nice. Alright, so it's flashing yellow, so we have to do something. Not sure what exactly. Oh, it's 40. It says it right there. Does it? Yeah, okay. I think I get it. Anyway, I don't think we had to do it as quickly as it's up there a ways. Forgot about that little tidbit. I like that you can see the reflection on this down here from the screen. That's nice. You can even see a handprint here. That's cool. Somebody with greasy ass Cheetos fingers. Yeah, we slowed down way too soon. It's the cab light. The interior of this thing does look amazing. Rivet has never been in short supply of good modelers for this Swiss and Austrian stuff that they build. Well, for Train Sim Classic mainly, but obviously Train Sim World 2 now, of course. It looks very nice in here. I'm going to try not to spad this and pay closer attention to that in a moment. Focus, Sean. Focus. Focus. Alright, we're going to kill the power outright. So that seems fairly simple. Now, it doesn't really tell you about the trackside signals, but I'm assuming red, green, that whole jam. Luckily, there is a manual to reference. Again, there is a manual. This is not a test. There is actually a manual. Oh, come on. For Pete's sake. There we go. Okay, stop. Thank you.
Good work. That is the basics covered.
Thank you.
More information on the safety systems used in the RABE 523 can be found in our manual.
All right. Now, let's dive in. Okay, so first we're just going to take a look at what's on offer here. This, of course, is the RABE 523, the Flirty Boy multiple unit for the route. It is in SBB livery. As far as the paint workshop thingamabob within the game, I believe you can repaint it, but you cannot share it due to licensing and things of that nature. So we'll take a look at the timetable, which is supposed to have a full 24-hour timetable. Now, I feel like in the past, and by in the past, I'm getting ahead of myself, they've only made one other Train Sim World. Well, that's a lie. They've made a couple of Train Sim World 2 routes, and they never seem to have a very diverse timetable, so I'm hoping this is different. Now, there are quite a few depot runs, which is nice. That's a minute. Luzern, Sursee, Luzern Depot to Luzern, Sursee, Luzern, so on and so forth. It's fairly simple, but the problem with that is, A, this is a very short route in the game. B, there are no other trains included, sadly, and there are a lot of other bits of rolling stock that the Swiss, Federal Railways use here in Switzerland, in the whole country, and in this area in general. I mean, just Lucerne alone has a fairly large freight yard just as you take off out of the station, which will be off to your left. We'll take a look at in a moment. So that was an opportunity to have some freight cars there, as well as some other things. But again, it's very short, so it would kind of be useless to have extra stock. I get it. But it seems like that's a common thing with Rivet now, and Train Sim World 2 is just giving us one bit of stock, which, you know, kind of stinks. It's nice to have an option, or two, or three, if you will. So we've done the training modules. You'll get 3 of those. Scenarios, here are the scenarios. Hour, 40 minutes, 50 minutes, 50 minutes, 60 minutes. You know, two of them have rain. I'm not a huge fan of rain in Train Sim World because it looks like, well, terrible, to be extremely blunt. Yeah, so anyway, all right, let's hop in the route and we will take a big, ginormous look around. All right, so I just chose a random timetabled service. This is the 21149 Luzern to Sursee, with, of course, the RABE 523. It says we're 196 tons, 4 units, 71.3 meters long, and it is, see, 13's 1, 14's 2, 15's 3. It is 3:15 p.m. in the afternoon. I believe I have it set to June, just for much better lighting. First things first, let's take a hop, skip look around Lucerne Station. This looks really fantastic. The station actually looks like this, and it's a unique station in its own right. it looks like they've taken a lot of great care with all the textures and just the art in general. I mean, look at these panels on the roof. I'm assuming that's like some sort of corrugated steel up there, but there's little bits of paint missing where it's just the bare steel underneath, the raw steel or tin or whatever it is. It's weathered nicely. That looks great. That does look great. Even this bit down here, the sign, I noticed right off the bat, it's got little bits of weathering on these boxes as well. Even up here. This looks great. I mean, look at the shading on that. The cleanliness and the dark bit down there and the dark bit up here. So the station looks good, and as far as I can tell, the PIS is legit and working. I'll have to take a closer look at that. Even these little help boxes here. That's a door. Wait, what the hell? What does that do? I thought it was like a help info point. Even those look great. I mean, this texture down here looks great as well. I mean, look at the mixture in that. There's little cracks. That looks fantastic. This is a short route, so I was hoping with it being a short route, it would be extremely unique and very detailed, and so far it very, very much is. We'll head outside, because one of the first things I noticed on the media pictures when this came out is this doesn't quite look right for the area. Now, someone in the actual region that may have ridden this line, please let me know in the comments below if I am completely incorrect, but I feel like the ties are very much gray. Now, possibly these have a dirty effect, but it's more of just a bare concrete. And the ballast, like when you look at it up close, it looks gray, which is the color of the ballast in this area. But it, you know, you back up some and everything just kind of looks brown. So it's similar. It's not terribly off. And something else I'm noticing is there's no crazy texturing. Now, it's got repetitive texture, which a lot of the latest Train Sim World's routes do. It does have that, but they, I guess, did it in such a way, created it to where it's less noticeable. So, like, for example, you can see it down there a bit more about mid-screen here. But that's not too shabby at all. That, of course, is part of the Alps. I don't know exactly what mountain range, but it looks okay. I mean, typically you're going to be like down here. So you just see the top of the rock there. That was kind of an issue with the Arosa Line. The distance scenery on Arosa Line was not good at all. It was really, really bad. So hopefully they've kind of fixed that in some areas, but that bare mountainside there looks kind of funky. They got 2D trees right there, which I'm totally cool with. Give me 2D trees all day, every day. That's fine. But it looks weird and bare right there. Maybe it is in real life. But I feel like also when you're coming out of the station and cab ride vids I've seen, these are a bit more jaggy and rocky. I'm not entirely sure. It looks similar, but it doesn't look to a T. But to try to not sit here and be super nitpickety, it looks fairly normal. This is a cool city in itself, Luzern. It is a very classical city and has retained its kind of medieval architecture, if you will. And they, that pretty much transcended into the route building itself. These buildings look fantastic. These are obviously new custom assets for the route, which look great. The coloring on these look great. I mean, even the little handrails on the balconies and everything. The texture on the wall itself looks great. This is just very, very nice. Got the tree-lined streets. And I get the bicycle thing now. In Switzerland and Austria, I believe, like, bicycling is huge. Super duper mega. So I kind of get that now. So it's a very bike-friendly area. But yeah, this city, it looks impeccable. Look at that. I mean, don't look at that distant terrain. That doesn't look good. But, we'll do the screen like that. That looks fantastic. Got a little cafe down here with the picnic tables and the umbrellas and whatnot. But anyway, the station, Looks great so far. You know, I could look at every square inch, but this will be a 10-hour video, and let's be honest, most people don't watch YouTube videos for more than a couple of minutes, so I'm going to try and keep it short and sweet. The infrastructure looks pretty nice. It looks like the Federal Railways here would look. It's got that kind of look to it. It's very unique to the area. The station itself, again, does look great. These little safety stripes here, this is legit. That's how it looks. I just love this texture on the floor. That looks amazing. I mean, that is fine. That is very fine. Like, let's take, for example, the Harlem line that just came out, the New York City to White Plains in New York State. Some of the textures on that were not that great. Very muddy and low res. This is in another league right here. It looks really good. I mean, hell, even this wall right here. Well, that's a bit lower. I spoke too soon. Got too excited. The lighting looks okay. I kind of want to take a look at it in low light and at night as well. Got the little reds on the buffers here. That's a nice looking asset as well. The model of this little light here. That looks great. I am very, very much liking this route so far. It's very unique. Got the little shops here, platform numbers. There's our Huffy we fixed. Go down into that area. Oh, can you? Well, you can with the free cam at least. That's kind of cool. It's like a little shopping mall type deal. Maybe get you a hot cup of joe or some hot chocolat, because Switzerland is known for their chocolate and fondue and clocks. So that's pretty neat. And then, of course, looking out the back side of this, this is the bus station. So I mentioned earlier, those of you that know what OMSI is, this bus station right here, what is it, Hauptbahnhof? No, Busbahnhof? I forget the German or Swiss terminology of it. But that's this bus station right here, and that is Lake Luzern back there. So I was wondering if that was actually going to be visible. It is. It doesn't look super duper good, but it's there. You know, I'll give it that. And then there's the bridge that goes across, and again, that OMSI 2 route, the Lucerne line runs along that bridge and kind of follows the lakeshore. I love that route. I've got a love-hate relationship with OMSI, and it's making me sad just talking about it. But even these beams up here look great. Look at that. This is highly detailed stuff. You know, no bones about it. I have always very, very much liked Rivet's Train Sim Classic stuff. I think I have every one of their add-ons for Train Sim Classic. I don't know what that is. That's kind of funky. Anywho, we got the ashtray. Even that thing looks legit, man. Look at the rust, the bolts, and the nuts down there. Of course, the ticket machines as well. It's got the little 423 with the depot. That's kind of cool. Got a station map. That looks nice. That looks legit there. I love Austrian trains and train routes. And Swiss trains and train routes. I'll be completely honest. I sometimes get the two countries mixed up. I know that's a terrible thing to say, but they're both gorgeous countries in their own right and fairly similar for the most part. And that's my excuse for saying Austria and not Switzerland. Anyway, we're going to head over to this depot over here. So we got some 523s waiting in the wings. If we can get over here. Jeez. Let me out. Alright, camera. Quit being stupid. I don't think it's letting me over there. See if we can fly up on this building here. Oh, there we go. Nope. There we go. High view. Yeah, that doesn't look good. But you're not really going to be seeing that. There's the yard. Very empty. I mean, there's like 5 or 6 other train sets that run this area in and out of this terminus. So I kind of get why it's bare bones. That over there is the freight yard. So that's where some freight cars would be. Of course, Lake Luzern, that's it right there. It goes all the way back. I think it's the 4th largest lake in Switzerland. But look at this city. This city is awesome. Even back here, the bits that you can't really see that well. It just looks really, really nice. This is a good looking station. And of course, the tower up here as well. That reminds me of something like Star Wars, like a sand skiff or something. Looks pretty cool. And then this is the actual railway tower over here. See if it'll let us get to it. Looks very nice as well. I mean, there's a lot of custom stuff. Of course, the radio tower here. There are a lot of custom buildings in this route. All right, shall we get started? I will stop blabbering. All right, first things first, let's take a look at the interior of this thing. This is really, really nice modeling. Look at this. This is gorgeous. I'm still ashamed that I said Austria. I cannot forget it. Got your heaters down here. Even that metal, man. The texturing on that metal, this looks too legit to quit. A trash can here. Door sounds pretty good on the opening. The hydraulic bits, SOS button. Close it back. Oh, that's an IKEA advertisement. Very nice. That's pretty cool. Ideal. Should say IKEA. Yeah, that looks just like IKEA. That's cool. I would be willing to bet somebody will make a mod for this map or route at some point and pop that in there. These seats look different. The patterning on these don't look as good as these, but they still look very nice. Got this kind of privacy glass going on here. This looks really good. And these are articulated sets, as you can see here, with this bendy stuff. Of course, they like to advertise their other wares. So there's a 204. Oh, darn. Man, I'm just going to give this a straight negative review. You cannot open the water closet. I know a lot of little foamers are going to be super upset about that. Yeah, anyway, you can't go in the pisser. I'm sorry. Alright, well, I think once we've seen one coach, we've pretty much seen it all. So let's hop back in here and drive, shall we? Hold up. Are there any panels back here? We should probably close that door for safety's sake. Even these little keyholes, look at that. These little special lock keys. These little rivets. I mean, I guess there's a reason their company name is Rivet. Haha! Jokes. A vent up here. Look at these. These little hex key bits right here. Look at that. This is very fresh. This is certifiably fresh so far. Got a little jump seat here. Yeah, this thing is, I'm digging it. Diggity digging it. Alright, window. Does change the ambience or the occlusion of the sound. You can tell. And I like how you can just open it just as much as you want. You can put your files in here and your important papers. Even the texturing on this bit, look at that. It's all dirty and worn out. Jeez Louise, this looks good, man. Alright, let's, enough. Let's stop looking at stuff. Alright, master key. Forwards. This goes to -20. I think. And then release this. Now, sadly, for the purposes of this video, so I can look around and not be emergency stopped the entire time, I am not going to turn on ETCS. I will do that in another video and do a full run and try and cover that a bit better. But we're just going to have a good look and listen at things here for the most part. Got your telephone. So I like this bit. Dovetail and the other second-party devs have added this recently where you contact the signaler by clicking the phone. I think it was Mike Gultz at TSG that kind of initially did that, and everybody followed suit, which is a great idea. This is the passenger information display right here. So luckily, once again, in the manual, if I need to reiterate that, there is a manual for this. You set this up. So as of right now, it is set to go where we're going. Or wait, no, it's not. I'm an idiot. Yeah, we're not going to Geschlossen. All right, I think that's the end of the line. Anyway, I'm getting besides the point here. So in the manual, you've got all your destinations and what lines they go to. So there's actually different lines you can input, even though you're not going to be on those lines. But again, besides the point. So I believe you just put in the code. So 3-digit code, we're going to Sursee. So that is 202. Intra. There we go. S1 Sursee. And there it is. It's on the front, and that looks pretty legit. I mean, that's how these things look. It looks very nice. It does this weird thing where it looks like 8-bit at this distance, but when you zoom in, you can actually see the little dots there, which is nice. So there's that. You can do that, which is pretty cool. Let's see what all we got here. So let's go ahead and open the doors for these poor folks. See what kind of buttons we got here. There's our sander. Dimmers. We're going to crank them puppies up. That's our wipers. Turn those on real quick. They have a nice animation. They make a little bit of noise, but not too much, which is very nice. I hate very noisy wipers in Train Simulator and Train Sim World. Wiper 3. And off. Alright, our first stop is Emmenbrücke. Let's see. What else have we missed? Wing mirror pedal. Look at that. That's cool. So you could do that in the Train Sim Classic version as well. We'll leave it out. Alright, our horn, we'll test that in just a minute. Integra Signum Reset. So this is like the Q, clearing PZB, or AWS, or ACSES, or Dead Man's Pedal, or something like that. Same deal. Q. That is our cab light. Let's see. Side heater, underfoot heater. You can turn those on. Don't know what they do. Marker lights are off. Headlights. The normal headlight position for these in running is all three as bright as they can be, if I'm not mistaken. Passenger lights on. Let's make sure those are on. They were not a moment ago. Handbrake off. In fact, let's go back there and check it out. Yeah, the lighting looks okay. Yeah, that's a good looking burger. Hot dang. I want me a hamburger. Alright, so this is well changed, I believe. It says Sursee now and it displays the time. Let's hop back in the seat. Let's see, what else can we mess with? Anyway, let's go. Let's go. Let's just boogie. Alright, brakes off. Throttle. Alright, horn. It's a good sound. I've never heard a horn from one of these ever. So I don't know what they sound like in real life, but it sounds like what I would imagine it sounds like, if that makes any sense at all. That sounds alright. Do exterior. So there is clipping there, but again, in a lot of European nations, dudes aren't going bananas holding the horn down, so totally understandable. Now this is roughly a 30-minute journey from stem to stern, but I'm going to be going a little bit slower, or a lot bit slower, to just get a good look at everything, if you will. So there's a tunnel coming up here, but I want to check out the depot once more. Like a train wash, possibly. Very cool looking depot. Even got some forklifts back here. This is cool. I like the depot very much. Got another train inbound. So most of the route out of the city of Luzern heading north here is in a kind of a concrete canyon, akin to the Glasgow route, not Glasgow, it was Cathcart Circle, the ScotRail route for Train Sim World 2. It's almost like that. It's very similar to that, in fact, and once we get a little bit farther down the line, it's going to be more country and rural and, you know, livestock and stuff. Alright, I need to turn this thing up more. So I'm going to set it to 100 because that's typically the line speed. There we are. Come out of the tunnel. Signaling is on our left-hand side, as with the direction of travel. It's almost like England or the United Kingdom. Open the door a bit more. Oh, big frame tank right there. So you can hear the inverters a little bit better there, but they're still not very prominent. I don't know if the mixing was done quite right. But you know, it sounds very similar to the stuff I've seen and heard. Interesting building. Yeah, this looks great. Train bridge there, that banks off to the east. So this river that we follow here is, I think it is the Reuss or Reuss. I'm not entirely sure of the pronunciation. My apologies. But it flows into the Luzern, or out of. One of the two, I promise. Getting a little bit more stutter step right there, but it's kind of smoothed out. It looks like we're holding up the line. I mean, for starters, looking at this, I feel like the track and ballast need to be a little bit lighter. All right, our first stop's coming up, Emmenbrook. Or Eimenbreck. You got a nice seating position in this thing. You can see a lot. You know, as opposed to basically the Harlem line, right? Like the last American route that came out. You've got like a tiny square window to look out of. That over there looks very bare. Almost like an unfinished look. Now another thing, I don't know what year they were going for with this build. So that's a bit confusing as well. It's obviously modern and beyond 2004. Because, well, this didn't really exist until after 2004. I'm going to go ahead and turn that off. There we go. And we'll take a look around Emmenbrücke. We'll stop here. Will it let us? Nice. Alright, first stop outside of Luzern. You can still see the mountains all around. Tons of bikes. There's our broken bike. Broke bike mountain. Ha! Because there's a broken bike and there's a mountain over there. Some of these buildings are definitely reused. This right here has been around since Train Sim World 1. That's like one of the most common buildings. And it looks like the CIA headquarters or something. Langley, Virginia. That is not a good look. This whole area here. Now this could be some kind of construction clearing up an area here, but it doesn't translate that well into the game. The station itself does look very nice though. Go ahead and close the doors. And this train incoming just gave me the perfect idea and opportunity to do this. We'll do a roll by here. That's a nice sounding horn. Oh boy, let's turn those back on. I broke the headlights. Crap. Alright, well, that run by has convinced me they're not quite the right sounds. The sounds of these things in real life are a very haunting, like, ooh. And then they have a very high-pitched, that transition into like a higher speed and more power being put down. Sounds a little bit different than the high-pitched sound in this, but overall, let's just say it's better than the 1938 underground stock. We'll just leave it there. It's like we got a yellow. So since I don't have ETCS on, I need to pay attention here. Stopping at Emmenbrücke. Interesting looking station here. Here's good. Opens the doors. We'll take a look at the map. So this is your map. It's interesting. It shows the lines that branch off into different regions of the country. We're essentially smack dab in the middle of Switzerland. What is this area? Look at this, man. Look like some possible freight opportunities, yeah? Go ahead and lock them up. Look around this station a bit. Again, the buildings, I mean, these assets are handcrafted for the route. I would imagine they look good. The colors look great. Got these weathered bits of pterodactyl crap leaking off the top of the roof. These vents here. This looks all very, very nice. Got this lower level here. All right. It's your elevator. 2 levels, huh? Fancy. What's up there? I want to go up there. Let's just go in the building. Yeah, there's the elevator there. It's a cool area. It's must be like a little burb of Luzern. It's fairly hilly as well. It's not as flat as I thought it would be. Alright, so this time while we take off, I will keep the camera on the front, and we'll listen to this thing go through the phases and transition and whatnot on the move. Go back here to where the sound happens. Next stop is Rottenbergdorf. Well, that sounds pretty good, I must say. Even if the tones aren't 100%, it sounds good. The sounds are good. You know, whether they're 100% prototypical or not, the sounds are good, if that makes any sense at all. So now we're kind of getting out of the metropolitan area. This is quite an incline right here as well. So you can see the train slowing down. Something else I'd like to point out is the physics feel really, really nice on this thing. The GE44 on the Arosa Line from Train Sim World 2 didn't feel that great. It felt very lurchy and jerky and just funky. This thing is totally, totally different feeling. Alright, 450 meters. But yeah, thing feels good. And this is most definitely, without doubt, an upgrade from the Train Sim Classic 523. With it a date. The braking's nice. It takes a moment. It's got that squeal and squeak. And I didn't do this. You know, the game, the name of the game is Train Sim World. I haven't even looked at the 523 yet. I gotta be honest. I really was excited about this route. It's just unique as heck. It's Switzerland again. It's a different area. I got the headlights off like a dingus. I can't turn it back on. That's fine. It's fine. I mean, it's not fine, but it's fine. So anyway, I'm trying to keep up with my excitement for this route because the FLIRT units themselves are pretty cool. You know, they are all over the world. Hell, I think we got a set here in Texas. The UK uses some. I mean, they're all over the place. So it's an interesting train set. You know, as far as the model, this thing looks legit. This is what they look like. There are different door height variants. There's low door and high door variants. A lot of numbers and letters. Even the cabling and the piping in between the cars here, the articulated bits. Oh, Jesus! Thought I heard something. This all looks really great. I'd say the weathering on the trucks could be a little bit better, you know, if I'm just going to point things out. They look a little bit flat, but I honestly don't care. You know, everything else is so nice so far. The way I look at things and try to look at things is, you know, glass half full or glass half empty. If it's good enough, it's good enough. If it's not, it's not. You know, things are never going to be 100% crap or 100% impeccable. That's just how it is. You know, life, gaming, pizza, you name it. Anyway, the model looked great. Let's continue. Rothenburg, next stop, 1.9 kilometers. See where we're at on the map here. About a third of the way. So I think this is, what was it, like 15 miles? That seems super duper short. Super duper short. But we'll see if it actually feels short. And we'll open all the windows here. Oh, there's no head-out view. Come on. I remember Rivet did the same thing with the GE44 for Arosa. And I believe they patched it, so it eventually worked. I like the dog view. I really do. It's unique. And I'm slowing down way too soon. I'm trying to look at the manual here off screen. This is quite a nice manual they've put together. It's fairly detailed. Many pages. Many pages. Let's see. There's 39 pages. That's 39 more pages than Dovetail puts on their manuals. So there's that. So our next stop looks like a very industrious area here. Another opportunity for freight and freight wagons. Alright, so the platforms here actually split. That's unique. That is unique indeed. Alright, and we'll just get in that end zone bit there, and that'll be good enough. That'll do. Alright, so Rothenburg. Unteres Futterhaus. So that is some sort of agriculture or fertilizer facility, it would appear. Place is chungus as F, though. Mega chungus. Looks alright. I mean, this is kind of weird. You know. I don't know if train wheels would have a very good time rolling over that. This facility looks really good. I mean, you know, it's line side, so yes, they're going to have to make it well to really sell the area, I guess, but it's a shame it's not usable. Here's the little gooseneck dumper there. That's pretty neat. So we're like out in the boonies now, if such a thing exists in Switzerland. Alright, we continue. Let's lock the doors. Alright, so we're going to go straight to full power. They have a very thorough and complete signaling guide in this manual that I'm just perusing. Very nice. Very nice. Not advisable, but it works. Next stop, 4.6 km. What's that, about 2.5, 3 miles? Simpach? Is it Simpach or Simpach? Neunkirch. Alright, so we're about out of the curvy bits. This is a lot of industry back here for freight possibilities. That is an IKEA. I was looking at the map just the other night, and I saw that IKEA line side, and I was like, are they going to put it in? They dang sure did. Of course, it doesn't say IKEA, because reasons. But it's there. So, neat. I like IKEA. You know, some people don't. That's fine. I like it. You know, it's like taking a mini trip to Sweden in Florida. Of course, the store is almost 2 hours away from where I live, but they got some neat stuff, and the food's good, and it always smells really good inside. So I'm an IKEA supporter. It looks a little bit more barren out here. Like there's grass. You can see the 3D grass. It takes a moment to render. It does that weird, like, Alice in Wonderland popping out of the ground before your eyes thing. Because somebody gave you some spiked tea. But, I think the color of it is odd. The lightness of it or something. I'm not really sure how to interpret that. Just got a Chivo. Yee. Oh, no wonder. I was like, why are we going so slow? I set it to 100, but that's typically what they run at, if I'm not mistaken, so. Deal. I'll have to deal. So it's the country out here. A lot of farmland. That was a yellow. I'm assuming a red is beyond the next station. A lot of agriculture as well. Another huge elevator right here, whether it be fertilizer or agriculture. God dang. That thing is huge. I guess when you can't build out, you build up. There's another one. It's got a name on it. I don't know if it's the legit name, but I'm going to try and take a look at that once we stop the actual train here. This area looks pretty cool. I like the industrial. You know, you take off out of Luzern, the old medieval city. Very urban. You kind of get into the burbs. Now you're in this industrial kind of farmland area. It's a lot of different dioramas, if you will. I am not hitting the brake like a dingbat. Oh, what's going on? Why are we not braking? Oh my god! Okay. Right, well, that was most unfortunate. For whatever reason, the train was not braking. Anyway, so what we're going to do now is I've changed it to winter. I've put snow on the ground, and we're going to start at the north end of the map in Sursee and go south. So we don't have far to go. We probably did over half the route. And keep in mind, it's like 14 to 17 miles or something like this. So this is where we are now in Sursee. And we were right about Chion, if I am not mistaken. It is also a good opportunity to look at this area in snow, covered in snow. And it looks pretty good. It's not just, you know, a problem with snow in Train Sim World is it's just this bleach white. It's like just the whitest of white. It's so white, it's not even white. Just got a funky look. This looks a little bit different. You can actually see some ballast, some rock poking out, some discoloration in the snow, if you will. It actually covers the ties, which a lot of, if I'm not mistaken, a lot of routes in the past did not do that, and it looked a bit ridiculous. Snow piles in certain areas, which you'll see here. That was also prevalent and present on the Harlem line, which just came out, and it's on a couple other routes. Now, we are in Sursee. Sursee is not a huge notable town, such as, say, Interlaken or Vienna or even Luzern, but it's a unique little kind of medieval historic city on, you know, all on its own in its own right. There's also a massive lake over to the right here. I think it's called Simpach or Simpach. So I'm assuming we'll see a bit of that. I'm going to see how far it'll let me go up here where the line splits east and west. It's a lot more hilly up here, though. It's pretty. The trees look good. That's something else I'm noticing. The trees, a lot of times snow in Train Sim World and the trees just look stupid. They look like cotton balls. These look less so. So that's a nice change. Alright, so you obviously can't go that way. And that's a dead end there. Can no longer go any farther. So this is Sursee, the north end of the route. There's that one building that's like in every route 50 times. CIA headquarters. I wonder how my YouTube video is going to get listed saying CIA. they're gonna start watching me or something. Bug my channel. It looks interesting. The time of day and the sunlight angle may be kind of funky. Anyway, the multiple unit with the snow on it looks pretty good. It's not overdone. You know, there's just little bits and pieces of it here and there. That's pretty cool. There's some on the top as well. So that looks aight. Alright, let's continue. We will go south this time down to where we left off. Let's go ahead and pop the light on. Turn the key on. We'll throw it forwards. Let's see. This has got to go to 20%. We're going to release the air brake and open the doors. So like I said in the beginning, the headlights are set by default. So for whatever reason, I turned them off by accident. I could not get them back on. That's very strange. And what else is kind of weird too is like, okay, this is the S1 line. They're all going to be S1 lines. You can do PIS in the train, and that's very cool. Little things like that, fellow train nerds enjoy doing. So the fact that it's already set up so you don't have to do it kind of sucks, if I'm honest. Right. And we're Alf. 10, let's see. This is, I believe, 100 kmh. Yeah, that's the kmh, so we got 100. I need to raise that up. Kind of like the German routes, where it's got the dot matrix number. There it is again, 100 kmh. I didn't realize how industrious this area is. That's very nice. Oberkirch, 1 kilometer. I heard joints. Very nice. That's something Dovetail ought to consider putting on some of their routes. Joint sounds. Ah, Harlem Line. Pardon me. Got our bus. And go. There we go. We'll read the sign down here. All right, I'm gonna go for it. Überschreiten der gleich verboten Schumanda da traversa ius binaris viato attraversare ibeniari. Oh, I was like, that's not all the same language. It's in different languages. Because the bottom is English. Sometimes I wonder how I made it through grade school. Okay, let's go ahead and close the door. I was trying to have a German moment. Yeah, it's a good looking little town as well. Next stop is Notwil. Or Notville. Notville. I like the masonry work in here. That looks nice. And it's got snow on it, dude. How about them apples? So the lake, there it is. Hot dang, they added it. Lake Simpak. Again, though, distant scenery. Come on, Rivet. You know, minus the shortness of the route and the lack of rolling stock options, this would be a darn near masterpiece if we just did something. I mean, I see some trees over there. I see some, but it's going to need more than that. That was the issue with the Arosa Line. So if you're unfamiliar with Train Sim World, or wondering why I'm just moaning about it like a pregnant cow, go look at the Arosa Line for Train Sim World 2, and then you'll understand. Alright, so we've got, what is that, maybe 3-4 miles from, holy crap. Dude, it's hard going from miles to meters. I see it start at 1,000 meters and I start panicking, like I need to slam on the brakes, but you've actually got quite a ways to go. You know, whereas in the, I'm going to say American units, 1,000 feet is a pretty short distance. But anyway, I'm kind of digging the winter and the snow here. You know, one of the good things about Arosa, if I might add, instead of just picking it apart like, you know, is the norm for Arosa, the winter in Arosa looked good. Particularly if you set it to like slightly cloudy and foggy in winter, it looked really good. It looked better than summer, for example. There's Simpach, or Simpak. Yeah, we are right here on it. That's some Kodak moments, ladies and gentlemen, waiting to happen there. Now, Train Sim World 2's water is, there's a lot left to be desired. It doesn't look that great, but, you know, it's there. I feel like the best water that ever looked decent was on West Somerset in Train Sim World 2020. Another broken bike. It's a funky little... What the hell is this? Why is there like a spotlight there? Interesting. Alright, let's continue. So, Simpak Neunkirch. I believe that is where we failed earlier. Man, you could get snow blind is a thing, right? I mean, I live in Florida, so I've seen snow maybe half a dozen times in my life, but that looks like it could mess your eyes up. Some sort of little canal here. Oh no, that's a road. Hey there. Alright, this looks like to be about the longest stretch between stations here, possibly. Yeah, this would be alright. You know, I get it. It's a wide open space, and placing assets and models down is a frame rate killer. But, yeah, that needs to be done differently somehow. Just saying. Some of this looks funky. It's like neon. It's like glowing. So, some of it's interesting. Like, these look alright, but then those back there don't. And then, like, some of the bushes and the grass are just completely covered. It's like a mixture. That's very strange. My I settings as well may have something to do with the coloration. So I can pretty much guarantee you it won't look exactly like this, whether you're on PC, you know, or console. Alright, we've got about 1.2 miles. There's the lake again. There's a boat, like a $5 million speedboat, just sat up on the shore. Smart. Hey, there's a level crossing. Are they meant to face inwards? The lights? It seems kind of counterintuitive. Yeah, there's the big grain elevators or whatever they are. Look at this. That's nice. See, I like that variation. There's scaffolding on this house over here. Like it's being built, being redone. You know, life. Stuff like that happens. Stuff like that is real. It's nice to see stuff like that. That was one of the things I really liked about the East Coastway route that came out for Train Sim World 2020 and is now part of Train Sim World 2, the Classic Collection, or whatever the hell it's called. I don't remember the name of the town, but when you leave Brighton and start heading east, there's a little town there with some buildings getting reworked and scaffolding and whatnot. It looks great. And then there's even a couple bridges getting resurfaced. You know, little things like that, just to spice it up, make it look lived in. Some of the crossing. And these actually seem to be facing the correct way. Now, that's a road. The thing that we passed back there was some sort of maybe livestock crossing or something. I don't know. Maybe they're genuinely bass-backwards. Not entirely sure. But it looked odd. Whoa! You guys saw that, right? I haven't seen that in a long time. Which leads me to believe that Rivet have been building this route for quite a while. We just saw a person get yeeted out of the middle of the train up into the stratosphere. Man, the place is huge. It's kind of strange that there's like snow. Is that snow spattered up there on the sides? What the hell is that? Okay. That's an odd art choice. Another big arch tower. That one's got windows. Those look good though. It's that solid, thick concrete block. Yeah, this is nice. And again, like there's quite a few freight trains that run through this area, so it would have been nice to have, if not an extra freight train service, playable or AI, have some freight cars sitting in some industries and sidings and things like that, Anyway, this is where we spatted earlier, so one last thing I want to do is take a look at what this looks like at night. Right, so it is 11 o'clock in the PM, or 2300 hours, and this is nighttime. It's a bit bright, but it's honestly not. It's not terrible. The lighting looks okay. The station lighting. I feel like it could be a little bit darker and just have like a warmer look. I did set it to May or something, I think, because Risa Dresden lighting just owns all. There's nothing that touches night lighting compared to Risa Dresden. So if everything could kind of start to look like that, that'd be great. I don't even know if that's possible. The interior, you can't really see the lights on these. I think that they are bright. But for whatever reason, they're not really illuminating. Where did we go? They're not really illuminating the track ahead. Where are we at? Oh God. Which is kind of funky. I mean, it does a tiny bit, but again, that's something that is not Train Sim World's strong suit. Is night illumination. So I usually avoid at all costs driving anything at night or wee hours of the morning or evening. But anyway, guys, I hope I covered just about everything I could think of and that you may have been looking for and wondering. As always, if you made it this far, congratulations. You watched the entire video club, and you will be rewarded one day, I promise you. But that's it, guys. This is Luzern, Sursee, the central S-Bahn, for Train Sim World 2, of course, with the 523 multiple unit. But that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. We'll be back next time with something else, probably something with the ETCS. But that's it. I'll catch you next time. See you guys.